And welcome in to the Morgan and Kathy Wooten Gymnasium. I'm Cory Puffett, joined as always by Neal Murphy. We got a bit of a camera issue here. We're going to try and get that worked out real quick. Of course, it happened just as we were going live. But welcome.
Well, that way they can just listen to us.
There you go. Just listen to us. It'll be like a radio show.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can see what's going on here. Clearly there is a bit of an issue because the cameras are working. I'll step away for just a moment. Sorry to do this to you, Neal.
Well, I can start out by saying hello to my grandchildren, Kellen, Ainsley, and Brody. But another big game here tonight, Stags against St. John's Cadets. Stags had a tough one last time we were here, but has won 2 in a row. Went down to Ireton, was able to take care of business down there. Then up to the Hall of Fame, which is always special, and beat Bishop Lachlan out of New York. St. John's at 15-1, having a great year, but that's what happens in a tough league. They were upset by Good Counsel. Good Counsel has been kind of up and down all year. Had lost at St. Mary's Riken, came into town over at St. John's on Friday night, and they were able to keep the lead wire to wire, come away with the big upset. So that's what it is in WCAC. Anybody can beat you on any given day. We're looking for another great contest tonight. I think we're going to have a special presentation at the beginning here as we turn it down to the floor.
Cadets and the 2022-2023 DeMatha Stags. Before tonight's game, we have a special acknowledgement. At this time, we ask that you please direct your attention to the court and welcome DeMatha President Father James and Dr. Daniel McMahon, the principal of DeMatha.
Good evening, everybody. We do have a special opportunity tonight before we begin this tremendous athletic event. As we know, Patrick Behan is the coach of the head basketball coach of St. John's Cadets. And as we might know, in May of 2022, Coach Behan was diagnosed with ALS, which is a disease that affects the entire body. And during this diagnosis and during this period, Coach Behan still continues to work with great strength in the face of adversity and is coaching his cadets this evening. When family and friends learned of this diagnosis, they formed Behan Strong, which was an opportunity to raise funds to help the Behan family confront the tremendous challenges facing them and also to raise awareness of the ALS disease. DeMatha learned about this recently, and last week we had a tag day for all the students, faculty, and staff to contribute to the Strong Behan Fund, and the monies are still coming in. We invite any of our guests tonight who would like to support this. In the lobby of the Convocation Center, there are 2 bins which you can place your donation in that, or you can see the QR code in our lobby. The more that we can help them, the more they can help their family to confront this challenge. Without a doubt, whenever any of our schools meet in the competitive field, in the court or in the field or anywhere, it's a fierce competition, as it will be tonight. But for this aspect of helping someone in need, all of us join together, because in the game of life, we all have to be strong witnesses to our Catholic school tradition and to offer help whenever someone is in need. So I'm going to ask everyone, Dr. McMahon and I would like you to show your support for Coach Behan and to show him how much we appreciate his effort. Please acknowledge Coach Behan.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you all please rise and remove all headgear for the prayer to be delivered by Father Damien.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Strong and faithful God, as we come together for this athletic event, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. Bless all who have gathered for this game, students, parents, and visitors. Inspire all to have a true spirit of sportsmanship and a value for others. In all of us, may we have a Christ-like attitude. Let us also remember those men and women in uniform of our nation who daily protect us from terrorism and harm within our own country, and who keep safe the victims of international war and violence. We pray that the Lord will guard them in the palm of his hand and return them safely to their family and friends. Lead us all to the rewards of your kingdom, where you live and reign forever and ever. Amen. St. John DeMatha. In the name of the Father, and the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father Damien. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please remain standing and direct your attention to mid-court for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by DeMatha Senior, member and captain of Voices of DeMatha, and the captain of the DeMatha crew team, Peter Mexico.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Mexico with our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the visiting St. John's Cadets. At guard is a 5'11 junior, number 1, Daquan Davis. At forward is 6'9 junior, number 0, Donnie Freeman. At forward is 6'6 senior, number 15, Tim Barton Jr. At guard is 6 foot senior, number 2, Malik Mack. And at guard is 6'3 senior, number 5, Ray Watts. The assistant for the Cadets is Pat O'Connor. The head coach of the St. John's Cadets is Patrick Behan. All right, DeMatha, it's time to light up those phones. It's time to get up and make some noise because the lights go out in 3, 2, 1. PG County, it's time to meet the starting five for the 2022-2023 DeMatha Stags. At center is 6'8" junior number 1, Malcolm Thomas. At forward, a 6'4" senior number 0, Logan Lewis. A 6'3" senior guard number 4, Mason So. A 6'2" senior guard number 5, Isaiah Arnold. And a 6' senior guard number 2, Jaden Winston. The staff for the Stags spotlight operators are Owen Kramer and Pat Moran. Managers are Travis Jones, Jordan Gibson, Terrence Getty, Ian Mackel, and Jaden Gooden. The trainers are Jennifer Redding, Ava Grease, Haley Rust, and Wendy Norris. The assistants are Travis Bergdolf, Isaac McNeil, Kurt Samuels, and Wade Summa. And the head coach of the DeMatha Stags in his first season is Mike Jones.
All right, and back up in here in the booth. I am back with you, Neal. Sorry for that delay, trying to figure out some of this new stuff with the switchboard technology, the fade to black, all that stuff. Welcome in to the Morgan and Kathy Wooten Gymnasium. Big game here tonight. 15-1 St. John's Cadets here in town, coming off of a tough loss against Good Counsel last week. You know they don't want a repeat of that performance. DeMatha had a couple big performances earlier in the day. Blowout win for the freshmen and then an overtime win for the JV squad. We'll see what this varsity game has to offer as the opening tip goes to St. John's. Daquan Davis controls it, and we are off. Malik Mack back to Davis. So closes. St. John's working around, stripped away, but it finds a cadet down in the paint. And no good from range. Mason So with the rebound.
Stags open up man-to-man. St. John's is going to do the same.
Jaden Winston going to try and get the Stags on an early lead. Like to make the most of this first possession. Logan Lewis finds Malcolm Thomas, tries to go up and under, gets his own rebound. No good. Fighting for it is Mason So, and that's going to be out off of So. St. John's ball.
Good effort by the Stags at both ends. Malcolm Thomas got his own miss, missed a little chip in there. Mason So kept the ball alive on the board. Stags, as you can imagine, pressing full court.
On the other end, driving in Logan Lewis with some tight coverage. Could have been a walk by Ray Watts, but instead they're going to get Lewis for the foul. And Coach Jones going to have a quick word with his senior. First team foul on the Stags. Watts will shoot 2.
Ray Watts on the line. Tough move in the paint. One of those ones I think you make him make it there. I don't know if you want to foul that.
And first point on the board. Cadets 1, DeMatha nothing.
Stags with a modest 2-game winning streak, having beaten Ireton and then beaten Bishop Lachlan up at the Hoop Hall Classic.
Big win this weekend, but a quick turnaround for the Stags. Coming back, they had MLK Junior Day off yesterday and right back on the floor tonight against a very tough opponent. Nice finish by Malcolm Thomas.
Sometimes Malcolm goes with a little fadeaway, short jump shot. That time he went right at the defender, right at Donovan Freeman, and attacked him a little bit and was rewarded.
Coach, is it harder to go against an opponent of this caliber coming off of a loss?
If you're DeMatha, the last thing you wanted to see was St. John's being upset the game before.
Nice rebound, going up tall for it, Malcolm Thomas. Stags off and running, So kicks it back to Winston, who's going to drive in, and he's got an open lane And he finishes.
Great move by Jaden Winston, but what helped was Malcolm Thomas stayed active, kept his man moving, so he wasn't there for the help.
The top, Lewis working on Tim Barton Jr. They're going to get it inside. Thomas a little bit late closing. They're going to have to kick it out. And now an open look in the corner for three. No good by Watts, but the rebound by Daquan Davis. And he finds a man, resets it at the top, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 10. Davis, or rather Mack, passes it across. Now another open look in the corner, and this one falls. It's Tim Barton Jr.
Nice job by St. John's. DeMatha had a pretty good double team. They got the ball out of the trap. Were able to swing it for the wide open three in the corner. Get trapped like that, your best move is always look opposite.
DeMatha slowing it down just a little bit here. Winston got tripped up, but gathers himself, takes the pass from Thomas, gets it out to Isaiah Arnold, thought about it, and instead Arnold finds Logan Lewis inside, and he finishes with the reverse. That's a tough finish there, Coach.
Great job. Isaiah Arnold with the good pass inside. Logan Lewis took it to the other side of the rim for the reverse layup to avoid the shot blocker.
Good job by Lewis to back off a little bit there. No good, rims out for Malik Mack. Mason So, big crossover. Got his man out of position, but then turns it over, trying to get it to Winston. Winston steals it back from Watts. Winston finds So in the corner. That was a nice dish. No good, and Thomas couldn't clean it up, but Mason So with the rebound and the reverse layup.
Great effort by the Stags. Malcolm Thomas keeps it alive. Mason So cashes in with the reverse layup.
8-5 Stags, already nearly halfway through this first quarter. Only one stoppage so far. No fouls against St. John's, just the one against the Stags. That early one on Logan Lewis. Kicks out for three, and that one's good by Malik Mack to tie it up. Winston trying to work it through traffic. Mason So, way short there, but a good rebound by Thomas finds Logan Lewis. Showing a little bit of patience, getting it to Thomas, and Thomas with a tough finish through contact from about 6 feet away.
At home, you should get that call, but tough finish by Malcolm Thomas. Medium range jump shot there.
And on the other end, no good. Rebounded Logan Lewis, gets it to So. Open three, short by Isaiah Arnold. And gets the friendly roll, Daquan Davis, and one. Isaiah Arnold on this end came up short on that three, but he was a big part of the offense last week, scored 5 from outside.
Not a bad three. Certainly he's our most effective outside shooter, but a little quick, and one of the things you have to guard for is on the quick shot, make sure you have floor balance. You know, somebody's got to be the last man back. Mason So tried to get there, got there late. St. John's looking for a three-point play here.
Daquan Davis to take the lead, no good on the free throw. Malcolm Thomas rebounds it. Jaden Winston got a little bit of space, sees the opening. Oh, it rimmed out, and then Thomas couldn't finish underneath. No good by Cade Sebastian either. And now, once again, on the run, St. John's rejected by Adam Fox. But then Daquan Davis nails the three.
Just bad luck for the Stags there. Great block by Adam Fox. Right back in the hands of a St. John's player for three.
A.J. McCleary also on the court with Fox and Sebastian. Sebastian gets an opening. Really impressive to gather himself and get an accurate shot off from there. That ties it right back up.
Might have been spurred on by our student section, which is at this end right now.
Not always the best thing to react to the student section if you're on the court, but that's how it worked out.
Certainly was encouraged to shoot, yes.
High release, no good by Donnie Freeman. And that I'm surprised that wasn't called out of bounds, but either way.
Top of the backboard's in. The problem is usually it hits something else up there, shot clock,
I thought it hit the shot clock, but I guess not. And a really nice job by Jaden Winston getting it way up because Zion Chase got up there to try and block that.
Jaden do a great job in the penetration. A couple times now he's been able to get all the way to the rim. Again, an active Malcolm Thomas keeps the help away.
A minute 30 to go in this first frame. Donnie Freeman blocked out of bounds off Malcolm Thomas. It'll stay with St. John's.
Lost in that was A.J. McCleary stood in to defend the basket, keep him from getting all the way to the rim. That enabled Malcolm Thomas to get a real good look at the block shot.
You hate to see Malcolm Thomas come out after that play, but J.J. Massaquoi will give him a breather. On the other end, Malik Mack came in for Ray Watts. Stolen away by A.J. McCleary to Cade Sebastian. He had to spin around to protect the ball, but it wound up being stolen away by Daquan Davis. And now Cadets off and running. Driving in. Couldn't make the adjustment. Malik Mack no good. Adam Fox with the rebound.
Great rebound by Adam Fox. And then the strong hands, kind of like a tight end, keeping the St. John's guys off the rebounder.
Inside of a minute. Winston to Sebastian, catch and shoot. No good that time. A.J. McCleary is able to come out of it and deflect it to Winston. Resets the shot clock back to 20.
10 on the shot clock now.
And that one is going to stay. Looks like that's going to stay with DeMatha, and it is a foul on the floor. So Stags take over on the baseline. Another reset on the shot clock. 17 seconds separating that from the game clock.
Jaden took it a little bit deep that time into traffic, but fortunately got the whistle.
McCleary inside to Massaquoi. J.J. Massaquoi guarded tightly, double teamed. He finds an open man, Adam Fox. Good position by the defender. The refs let them play. And then underneath, the foul called on Zion Chase. That will send Fox to the line to shoot two.
Really not sure what happened there. I'm going to have a hard time describing that.
Yeah.
He had the drive. He got cut off. The ball ended up in his hands, got back. And I
kind of feel like there
whistle.
had to have been a call on somebody there, but no call. The refs may have been as confused as we were over what to call that. Fox's first free throw is good.
Stags being aggressive early, taking the ball to the rim, getting rewarded now.
Pete Newman, sophomore for the Cadets, will get his first action of the day, replacing Zion Chase.
And Adam Fox is a guy, I've seen his minutes kind of grow as the season's gone on. Certainly something they're going to look for some major contributions from.
Friendly bounce.
Malcolm Thomas can't play the entire game, although we'd like him to.
Friendly bounce on the second free throw, and Fox goes 2 for 2.
Shot clock is off.
It's a
15
4-point
seconds
game.
ago.
17-13. Almost lost his dribble there. Malik Mack working on Jaden Winston. Mack slips by Winston, and Winston doesn't like that, but he was sort of forced to foul in that situation. He got beat.
Other than it's a foul on Winston, and he's one of our more effective players. We want him in foul trouble. Not really a bad foul. The ball out of bounds.
Only 4.5 ticks left. Puts a little bit of pressure on St. John's to try and set something up with not a lot of time to do so.
It does limit their possibilities, so probably whoever catches is going to look to create right away.
Chase right back in for Devin Totley on St. John's side. Jacob Wallace checks in for his first action for DeMatha. Wallace getting over there, and no call, no shot, no basket. 17-13 after one. DeMatha's offense doing everything that it needs to do to stay ahead of St. John's, and the defense has been really tight tonight.
Defense is good. Obviously, St. John's very talented. They've been playing well. We've been able to knock down some shots down here. We've been able to get to the rim. The floor balance has been good. So if you're Coach Jones, first quarter, you're pretty happy with the start.
I think you have to be really thrilled. This week, we've got the DeMatha experience here. It's the first year that we're doing this in between the two semesters. giving the students a little bit of time out of the classroom, the teachers a little bit of time to focus on grading at the end of the semester, not have to lesson plan this week has been pretty nice, but also a lot of really interesting things planned for the students. Every class has an Olympic day along the way. I'm running the Kahoot Challenge. That was a lot of fun with our freshmen today. Looking forward to seeing how the other classes do, if they can outperform them. We've got how to change a tire segments and all kinds of different stuff that I think a lot of the students should be really looking forward to.
It's great. One of the things is about the careers. We have different alums coming and talking about the careers. I just talked to a former student of mine, and he was in front of the classroom where in the past he had been in the classroom giving a guy like me a hard time. So I asked him if he understood what was kind of the switching of the roles.
Yeah, no, great opportunity for seniors to start learning about different sort of careers. We've never had a real career fair. At least we haven't had one in a long time. So nice that we can incorporate that into this while the underclassmen are all going through course selection assemblies and learning about the different electives that we offer, like this one, video broadcast journalism. Got quite a few of our guys working here tonight. We'll shout them out later on the show, but here we go with second quarter action. DeMatha with the first possession. Tough drive by Malcolm Thomas. Manages to keep control of the ball and draw the foul. Looked like he had lost the ball, so to get it back was huge.
Took it in a little deep into traffic. A lot of times you'll get that call because there's so many bodies around so many arms, but kind of willed that. He'll go to the foul line for 2.
Maybe a little bit questionable whether he was in the act of shooting, but he sold it. So he will shoot a couple of free throws here. And the first one is high off the back of the rim and no good. Thomas tried again. Looking to give the Stags a 5-point lead, would be the biggest lead of the night for either side, and it is good. Donnie Freeman into Daquan Davis, and the Cadets take their first possession of the second quarter. Wide open inside, Tim Barton Jr.
You have to figure somebody missed the defensive meeting there. Stags were in a bit of a zone there, looking to trap. They left the rim uncovered.
Yeah, Lily, they had a couple guys open on that side of the court, but St. John's took the easy points. Wise on their part. Mason So trying to get it to Isaiah Arnold, deflected by Daquan Davis, and Malik Mack came down with it. He's going to take it all the way to the rim, no good. And there is a whistle on the floor, and it looks like it's going to be a foul called on Mason So, and it'll stay with St. John's. Did you catch what that call was, Coach?
Had to be on the rebound in terms of blocking out. There were 2 Stags fighting over the ball, so it had to occur before the ball really came off the rim. St. John's ball on the baseline.
Winston defending as he checks back into the game. Quick catch and shoot off the inbound. No good by Daquan Davis, but the foul on Isaiah Arnold will send him to the line to shoot 3.
Isaiah Arnold not happy with the call. I think what Coach Jones would say to him, and you shouldn't have been close enough for the referee to make a bad call. It's a contested 3. You just want to make him shoot a little bit quicker, a little bit earlier.
Daquan Davis with a chance to tie it up on this trip to the free throw line, and 1 for 1 to start. Second free throw on its way from Davis. Also good. One more coming. And Davis converts the 3-point play from the free throw line, and we have a new ball game. 18-18. Just under a minute into this second quarter. Winston bounce pass up to Arnold, who quickly passes it across to Wallace. Arnold catch and shoot for 3 in the corner. This one no good. A little bit off the mark, and Stags could not come down with the rebound. And a fast finish on the reverse by Daquan Davis. Managed to stay in control.
St. John's on the break. Jaden Winston had a shot, went for the steal, came up empty. St. John's shoots a layup. Stags a little bit stagnant here on offense. St. John's doing a much better job pushing their offense out a little bit, contesting passes, using their quickness.
Pete Newman tried to go through Jacob Wallace to deflect that pass, got called for the reach-in. He'll stay with the Stags. 5 fouls called on DeMatha, 4 against St. John's here in the first half. And Winston loses this dribble, stolen away by Pete Newman. And off the backboard, no good. Can the Stags come up with it? No, Donnie Freeman is able to tap it to Malik Mack.
Might have missed a walk there.
St. John's, some quick movement, and there's Tim Barton Jr. That one only for 2, but a nice shot there from the corner.
St. John's showing why they're having such a great year there, doing it at both ends of the floor. They picked it up on the defensive end with their quickness, forcing maybe the Stags to dribble too much. They forced some turnovers there. And down the other end, using their quickness, getting the ball out of DeMatha's traps, finding the open shots, getting to the rim.
So quick run for St. John's gives them a 4-point lead here. So we get set to come back out of this timeout.
Yeah, 9 straight for St. John's, I believe. It'll be Stags ball on the baseline. Look for the Stags to get some movement, reverse the ball a little bit before they attack. They had some success early with a couple of completed passes. St. John's now contesting a little bit more. They're still going to be patient enough to get the ball from one side of the floor to the other.
So DeMatha will take possession. And the sophomore, Jacob Wallace, takes the ball up the court for the Stags. A.J. McCleary trying to get open around the top. Couldn't get free of his man. This time he does get it from Wallace. Passes it into Fox. Tough finish. A lot of guys came in, but it's Adam Fox who came away with it, and he finishes on the second chance.
Good effort by the Stags. They put 4 guys on the offensive boards. I don't know if we can take a steady diet of that, but Adam Fox, tough shot on the first one, stayed with it, cashed in on his own miss.
Daquan Davis passes off. They're going to get it inside, feeding in Donnie Freeman, working against Malcolm Thomas, who forces him back away from the basket, but that gave Freeman a little bit of space to drive, and he used it. Tough finish.
Tough move, elevated. Malcolm Thomas contested, was able to knock it down.
Four-point deficit for the Stags. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Wallace almost lost his footing, regathers, and that maybe could,
He's got him out of bounds.
So yeah, so no goaltending, which I thought really could have been the call. It was at its apex, maybe it wasn't quite. What's the rule there, Coach? Does it have to have already started descending, or is it when it reaches its apex and stops climbing?
At the apex, that tells you I'm not sure of the specifics there, but I think everybody in the gym thought it was goaltending.
Well, the
certainly
Stags will at least
anybody
get the ball
rooting
back.
for DeMatha, Coach McGregor, our football coach, agrees. Should have been goaltending. And if Bill says it's true, it must be true.
And now we're going to get an offensive foul on, I believe he called it on A.J. McCleary. And so it'll wind up being a turnover.
Screen in there, but it looked like Malcolm Thomas was coming up and got pushed into the back of someone. Can we ask for a review?
I would like one. Malik Mack. Wow.
Tough shot, catch and shoot. Popped out, got his legs underneath him. Nice looking stroke there.
Big time 3 there for Mack. 7-point lead now, the largest lead on either end tonight. One of these days we'll have a graphics package where we can put that stuff in there real quick. We're not quite there yet. And a travel called on A.J. McCleary. Did not get that pivot foot planted as he was working back and forth against the tight defense.
Yeah, Stags had 17 at the quarter. We got fouled on the first possession. Malcolm makes one 18. So we've gotten 2 points over basically the last 4 minutes. A lot of it having to do with St. John's defense and our turnovers.
Big turnaround for the Cadets here in this second quarter. DeMatha's got to start doing some damage control here. Daquan Davis has it poked away and out of bounds off Malik Mack. It'll stay with DeMatha. Kate Sebastian was trying to feed Jaden Winston on the break.
A little unsure what to do with that one. Maybe not as comfortable handling the ball on the break like that. Usually the guards. St. John's super quick, really aggressive at this point.
Yep, another aggressive move. Daquan Davis pokes it away, but again out of bounds. Logan Lewis back in the game for the Stags. He'll handle the inbound as the refs take 2 seconds away from DeMatha on the shot clock.
Here's where you need to be a great receiver. You know St. John's is being really aggressive. So every pass, you're coming to meet it, you're being strong, both hands on it.
Once again, trying to feed it inside. Quick reactions. That time a kicked ball by Malik Mack. And DeMatha once again taking it along the St. John's bench. Mason So, no good from three. And Daquan Davis will take the ball up the court for the Cadets. Tough turnaround against Kate Sebastian. Can't get it to fall. Mason So there for the rebound, and a foul called on Malik Mack. Zion Chase, a freshman for the Cadets, checks back into the game for Tim Barton, and we'll get another sub as Ray Watts comes in for Pete Newman. Winston inbounds to So. Not a lot of openings. Winston comes to Mason So to get that one. Tough pull up, and he nails it.
A lot of dribbling in that possession. Jaden Winston bails us out with a tough little pull up there. 27-22, 3 minutes to go.
Really impressive bucket there for Winston. Much needed right now for the Stags. Kate Sebastian with the tight defense, able to poke it away and come away with it. And on the other end, oh, Winston couldn't finish, but Malcolm Thomas there with the rebound to put it back in. 4-0 run for the Stags.
Gotta love it when the big man runs the floor. Sebastian Cade, great defense. That time gave it to a guard. Jaden Winston gets to the rim. He misses it. Malcolm Thomas cashes in.
2 possessions cut the deficit more than in half for the Stags. And a travel even before Malcolm Thomas poked it out of the passing lane.
Stags playing with a little more energy now. Good to see.
Another freshman coming in for St. John's, Devin Totley, number 4 on the floor. Logan Lewis at the top, and looking for Malcolm Thomas on the alley-oop, but good defense underneath the bucket. St. John's prevented the completion and the finish, but then some contact on the other end of the floor. Looks like they got Mason So for that one, and that will put St. John's in the bonus. So we'll get a 1-and-1 opportunity for Malik Mack. Isaiah Arnold checks back in for the Stags, and after a quick rest, Tim Barton Jr. back in for the Cadets.
St. John's out on the break. Mason So trying to hustle back. The problem is he hustled through a St. John's player.
Can't do that. No good on the first half of the 1-and-1, but St. John's comes away with the rebound. Tim Barton ripped it away underneath the basket. And now we've got a whistle. I think they may have been late starting the clock after the rebound.
Shot clock issue.
Or no, they were not late. They just didn't reset it to 20. They reset it to 30, which is incorrect. So 16 on the shot clock rather than 26. And now I don't know what this is about, but former basketball manager Lucas Santamaria in the building. I saw him earlier today, got a chance to talk to him, and Amani Aguko, former soccer player here, taught both of them in various classes while they were students. Really glad to see them back visiting. Nick Cross is also in the building. Hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to him during halftime. Daquan Davis drives in, kicks it out to Tim Barton. He hit a three from the other corner earlier, and then he nailed this one.
Tough three by Tim Barton. Might have said something to him out of the bench after he scored.
Jacob Wallace feeds it to Isaiah Arnold, around to Lewis, back to Wallace. Cade Sebastian way short on that three, and it's just going to bounce out of bounds.
Just didn't have his legs underneath him. Kind of a staggered screen for him. Came to the top. You really got to get your legs working on that.
Important defensive possession here for the Stags. Tim Barton feeds it to Mack, who finishes through the contact at the rim, and he'll go to the line.
Great play by St. John's. Little pinch post there, through to the post, little back door. DeMatha had two guys come over to help. Neither one able to stop him. He'll go to the line for one.
And he nails it. Traditional three-point play for Malik Mack. Makes it once again a 7-point Cadets lead. Logan Lewis driving around, trying to find an opening, and he finds one somehow, some way.
Nice little up and under control, had his legs underneath him, was able to step through the defender, laid off the glass. Under a minute to go.
Malik Mack to Donnie Freeman. Donnie Freeman couldn't get it to go on the first try, but got his own rebound, and then it's ripped away. But I think they're going to call Logan Lewis for the foul. They do. Yep. So we'll have another 1-and-1 coming for the Cadets. This time, Donnie Freeman at the line.
Great defense by the Stags on the first one. They just weren't able to close out the possession. Donnie Freeman gets his own rebound.
9 team fouls now against the Stags. 5 against St. John's. And the first one is good. And I didn't see anybody crash the board there just in case he missed it, so I don't know if that was a shooting foul. It certainly didn't look like it was one to me.
No, I think he was getting it. He gotten inside both players.
Either way, makes both free throws. Extends it to a 9-point St. John's advantage. 43.3 in the first half.
St. John's little delay press here, three-quarter court press.
Need to get some help for Lewis. He gets Winston. Cade Sebastian in the corner, but he was way too deep in the corner. Lucky that that didn't deflect out of bounds off the backboard. And now an easy dunk, but he hangs on the rim. Devin Totley. Well, mistake on the freshman.
Went up with two hands. The ball was starting to pop out, so decided to hang on the rim for a little bit and finish it off.
Can't do that. The freshman will learn. Shot clock is off. DeMatha can hold for the final shot, but Winston's going to pop it. No good, off the back of the rim. And now another chance for St. John's, and a foul called on Isaiah Arnold. Totley will go to the line to shoot 2 here with just 7 seconds remaining in the first half.
Not a bad shot by Jaden Winston, other than time on the clock there. You want to take that last shot with a couple seconds, or maybe have a little bit of time if you get an offensive rebound. But instead, nothing for DeMatha. St. John's out on the break. Another foul on us. Totally on the line, 2 shots. Makes the first.
Totley 2 for 2. And we will get a substitution for the Cadets. Ray Watts back in. Totley will take a seat. Final possession here of the first half. Winston's got to bring it up. Cade Sebastian doesn't have a lot of time. And a wasted possession to end the first half for the Stags. A 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter evaporates and then some. St. John's takes an 11-point advantage into the intermission. We'll take a short break, get our thoughts on the first half when we come back in about 10 minutes. Stick with us right here on DM Stags TV. And we are back getting ready for second half action here at DeMatha Catholic High School, where our home Stags are trailing by 11 to the visiting St. John's Cadets. Patrick Behan honored earlier before the game. St. John's coach dealing with ALS. We are collecting donations here on campus to help with those costs. Obviously a terrible disease. Wishing him the best, wishing the St. John's community and his family the best.
Well, like so many things that have happened recently, last couple of weeks here, you know, the sports is great, the competition ever, but there are bigger things going on in the world.
Yes.
And certainly we hope for him. I know ALS certainly has affected Coach, but it's affected the DeMatha community. Without naming names, to go back, I was upstairs talking before, and, you know, 5 different cases of people who are either DeMatha alums or relatives of DeMatha workers that have been, you know, have had this terrible disease. So which coach the best? He's a great guy.
Yeah, our prayers are with Coach Behan. We start the second half here. A strong first quarter showing for the Stags, had them up by 4, but that lead evaporated as St. John's took off in the second frame. The Cadets with the first possession here in the third quarter. Step back, deep 3, no good by Daquan Davis, and Malcolm Thomas has the rebound for the Stags. Mason So on the other end, little spin move, kicks it out to Fox. Adam Fox had to chase it down. Thankfully, everybody else had their backs to it. Jaden Winston for 3, high off the back of the rim. Nobody could come with it. It finds Ray Watts. On the other end, Tim Burton. Tim Burton has been very dangerous from the outside all game, but this time drives it inside, lays it in.
The shots that he made early worked for him there. DeMatha on the hard closeout, little pump fake all the way to rim for a layup. 39-26.
Tim Burton Jr. with the first points of the second half here tonight. No good, Malcolm Thomas. On the other end, we're going to get a wide open 3. Airballed over the rim. No good by Ray Watts. DeMatha takes possession. Winston passes to Fox, passes to Arnold, to So. Working it around the outside. So trying to find a lane and draws the contact. Not a shot you want to be fouling on, but that's just what Malik Mack did. That's going to be his second foul of the game. And Mason So will go to the line for 2.
Pretty good defense by St. John's. Stopped the penetration, forced Mason So into his tough shot. Just maybe got a little bit greedy on the contest.
First free throw good by So.
And here's a guy DeMatha would love to see get to being the player that we know he is. Had some real good games early. He's been struggling a little bit, and I think sometimes you start to question what's a good shot. You lose your rhythm.
So makes both free throws.
Stags a little three-quarter court pressure.
Whipping it across. Open look passed up by Malik Mack as he dribbles around, gets it to Daquan Davis, feeds it inside to Freeman. Working on Adam Fox. Donnie Freeman put a shoulder into Fox's chest and knocked him to the floor. And a reach-in foul looks like is going to be called on Daquan Davis. Or no, I think they called it on Ray Watts instead, and that'll be Watts' 3rd foul of the day.
A lot of
And now some conversing going on the sideline. Even Coach Jones not happy about something.
I'm confused there. St. John's.
Or did they call? They must have called that on Isaiah Arnold then, because it
Right.
went to St. John's on,
ball, right?
and I have no idea how that happened. I'm very confused, just like you, Coach.
Well, there was a lot of contact in successive plays. One of those ones just waiting for the whistle to blow. It blew, just nobody knew why.
Well, no points on that possession in any case for St. John's. DeMatha takes over. Winston crosses half court. DeMatha slowing it down just a little bit here. Mason So trying to find somebody. Nobody's able to break free. And So just short off the front of the rim. And then a foul called on Mason So. maybe a little bit of frustration.
Good move by Mason Show. Got a clean look at it. Little baseline jumper pull-up, left it short. Malcolm Thomas had a tip, maybe a little bit of contact there, but unable to knock it down.
And if the scoreboard is right, that is now Mason's 4th foul of the night as A.J. McCleary checks in for him. Chris McElveen also in the game for the Stags, number 21 guarding the ball. Mack passes off. They're going to look inside at Tim Burton. Kicks it back out. Mack for 3. Nails it from deep.
DeMatha went zone that time. Problem with St. John's, they shoot just a little bit further out than used to defending. St. John's starting to take control here.
A.J. McCleary, strong pass across to, wow, great finish by Malcolm Thomas on the spin. But on the other end, he's not ready. He recovers against Daquan Davis, and it's going to be out on St. John's.
Good contest by Malcolm Thomas. No call on the first shot. Out of bounds, DeMatha ball.
Ashton Meeks checks in for the Stags. The lone freshman on this year's varsity squad, number 3 on the court.
Ashton's got great range, maybe looking to pump a little life into DeMatha offense here.
Winston trying to get it to Meeks. It's poked away, and it gets back to Winston. And McElveen almost. The crowd, some of the crowd wanted to walk. Said Ashton Meeks for 3. Quick release, a little bit short. Couldn't get the full stroke into that one.
Good contest by St. John's. Left a little short.
Now McElveen trying, maybe could have been called for something there, but no good as it rims out. Fox with the rebound. Fox trying to feed it inside. It's going to be a kick ball to DeMatha ball on the baseline.
Stags had numbers on the break, just unable to execute.
Fox checks out of the game. Number 24, Prashant Hill in for the Stags. And on the other end, we got Pete Newman and Zion Chase checking in for the Cadets. Tim Burton Jr. and Ray Watts take a seat. Malcolm Thomas comes open, leaves it short off the front of the rim. Cadets ball, gets it to Freeman. Donnie Freeman, little fadeaway, no good, and Malcolm Thomas gets the rebound off the rim. Winston on the other end, tough windmill finish on the reverse, no good, and they're going to call it out on St. John's.
Good move by Jaden Winston. Got all the way to the rim, went for the reverse. Protected from the shot blocker, just maybe a little bit too much on it.
Really hard to finish with any sort of precision on that kind of a drive to the rim. Fumbling over my words here. Malcolm Thomas working on Freeman, and again, a really tough finish and could not get it to go. Just not an angle you really want to be taking a shot from. And again, it's going to stay DeMatha ball on the baseline.
Tough move by Malcolm Thomas, contested shot. Prashant Hill being active on the boards, kept it in.
And they'll put that right in off the inbounds. Nice quick basket for the Stags, 10-point game. More than halfway through this third quarter.
Stags a little 1-2-2 here. Looking to trap. Problem is we're giving up open shots.
And we're giving up offensive rebounds. And three-pointers off of them. Pete Newman nails that one, and we have got a timeout on the floor. This one's going to be charged, I believe, to DeMatha, and it's going to be a full 60-second timeout.
Pete Newman, just a sophomore, had the open three. Malcolm Thomas came out with a good contest. He was able to give it over the long arms of Malcolm, knock it down, 45-32. Stags will be in action this weekend. They play down at the Verizon Center on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Markel Fultz and the Magic come in at 7. And I understand there's a deal there. If you buy a ticket to the first game, you get to go to the second game. And then we're back here Sunday. I believe it's the Capital Hoops tournament. It's at DeMatha, but it's not our tournament. Yep. We'll play Georgetown Prep in the nightcap later that night.
Yeah, so we'll have a little bit of a break from basketball coverage on DM Stacks TV. We won't be back in action until next Friday night. But this Friday, you can join us on DM Stacks TV on YouTube for our prep hockey game. It will be senior night against Archbishop Spalding. That should be a fun one. Mr. Stephen April, class of 10, a theology teacher here, will be on the call with the play-by-play. Color commentary will be provided by Eric Meyer, class of 09, and one of my co-hosts on the Sports Ballers podcast. So coming into this game, DeMatha was 4-2 in WCAC play, 12-5 overall. St. John's coming off their one loss of the season against Good Counsel last week. They are 3-1 in conference play. Tough finish by J.J. Massaquoi, couldn't get it to go, and fought for the rebound. Donnie Freeman manages to get it to Daquan Davis. And J.J. Massaquoi flying down the other end is going to be called for the foul. Malik Mack will go to the line to shoot two.
Good hustle by J.J., just a little over-aggressive there. He's got size on him, go straight up, make him make the shot, just contest.
First free throw falls for Mack, bounced around the rim, but it was a friendly visitor bounce. Not what the rims are meant to do here at home. Second free throw, nothing but net. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. 15-point St. John's lead. Winston off and running, kicks it ahead. Oh man, Chris McElveen wants that one back. He had it, no good.
All the way to the 10, just wasn't able to convert.
But then over aggressive on the other end by the Cadets. Ashton Meeks intercepts the pass, and Jaden Winston with a floater as he falls toward the baseline.
Jaden's gotten really good with that kind of teardrop shot, that tweener from about 6 or 8 feet.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. Pete Newman back to Malik Mack. Mack will hand it to Daquan Davis. Try to drive in, and then Winston was there. I'm not sure how they call that foul, but they do. And Winston wants to know what he's supposed to do to avoid that.
Well, you had 2 Stags involved there, and St. John's hit the floor. So it was going to be on one of them.
So St. John's ball on the baseline. Already 4 fouls on the Stags here in the second half. And Donnie Freeman, just a little tip back up off the backboard and in.
Missed the chip, he stayed with it, knocked in the second one.
And now the second foul of the half against St. John's will be on Freeman. It'll be on the floor, so DeMatha will have the ball by their bench. Chris McElveen will handle the inbound.
Freeman's second foul, a little aggressive jumping out on that high ball screen.
McElveen into Winston. Winston to Ashton Meeks for 3. Off the front of the rim, then the backboard, but no good.
Freeman looking to create.
Tried to get the spin off the backboard, couldn't get it, but he does draw the contact, and Prashant Hill will be called for that foul. Freeman will go to the line for 2.
Donnie Freeman showing a lot of flexibility in his game, the ability to step out and create from the three-point arc, get all the way to the rim.
First free throw for Donnie Freeman is good. Adam Fox and Jacob Wallace will both check in for the Stags. Number 11 and number 10. Looks like Darius Vance is also going to come in for DeMatha, number 20.
St. John's will be in action again this Thursday against St. Mary's Riken. other league game.
Jacob Wallace behind the back, trying to cross up Daquan Davis. Couldn't lose him, so he passes off to Vance. And Vance loses the ball. And a little bit of fumbling there, but ultimately it looks like they are going to call a foul on Chris McElveen.
Bad sequence for the Stags there. Mishandled on the offensive end, took it a little too deep, and then tried to play defense too soon instead of getting back, building their defense out.
Zion Chase will take this one out of bounds. J.J. Massaquoi defending. Waiting on something with the clock. Looks like they got it.
Stags man-to-man.
Mack inside to Freeman, working on Fox. Freeman, tough spin, got interrupted halfway through it. And then as Chase went up for the rebound, there was a whistle. And that one's going to be on Adam Fox. So that is now 17 fouls on DeMatha. That puts St. John's in the bonus.
Certainly contact there, kind of a late whistle there.
Donnie Freeman shooting 1-1, makes the first. Misses the second.
Oop.
Fox gets to Vance in the corner. Vance short. And as he was trying to save it, it went off of, it deflected off Adam Fox and back out of bounds.
Had the right idea, although it works better if you throw it off someone on the other team. A good hustle by Darius Vance. Missed his own shot, stayed with it.
And on the other end, Zion Chase, the freshman, finishes at the rim.
Donnie Freeman, nice play. Drew the help, dropped it off to his teammate for the layup. 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Fox keeps it, spinning inside, and a foul called on Zion Chase, I believe. See if the official confirms that. Yes, it is on Chase. Malcolm Thomas is getting ready to check in for the Stags, but we've got 2 free throws coming up for Adam Fox. He'll shoot the first one, and it is good. Malcolm Thomas checks in. Tim Barton Jr. also back in the game. Second free throw coming for Fox. No good.
Shot clock is off. 25 to go in the quarter.
It's a 19-point game here.
Leak Mack just kind of playing with it out front. He's going to look to initiate.
Gets it to Burton, back to Mack. And a timeout called by St. John's before the backcourt violation as Mack was falling back across half court. 6.4 left in the quarter.
Good
Full
read by the
timeout.
Stags. They went with the trap out at half court. Better play by St. John's, realizing they were disadvantaged. Used the timeout. Stags' next league game will be next Tuesday down at Carroll.
I want to give a shout out to some of our staff from our games today. Back in the JV game, we had Matthew Calabrese as our producer. Laurent Shinhakwe was on play-by-play with Deshaun Williams on color. Brooks Franklin was our computer operator. Will Wallace on the switchboard. Anthony Truman was our main camera operator. And Mikael Desta and Isaiah Brooks split responsibilities on the second camera. Here in the varsity game, Anthony Truman is doing the graphics, or rather the switchboard. Matthew Calabrese is doing the graphics on the computer. Our main camera operator is Ariel Lemus, and our secondary camera operator is Liam Donnelly. Cory Puffett here on play-by-play with Neal Murphy. Coming out of this timeout, just 6 seconds left in the third quarter. It is a 19-point advantage for St. John's. They have the ball. Looking to extend that lead before the final frame begins. They'll take the ball out of bounds. Daquan Davis will handle the inbound responsibilities for the Cadets. He'll feed it into Tim Burton, who gets it to Freeman. Donnie Freeman, no good. And way short by Chris McElveen, trying to get a little something at the end of the quarter. 54-35 at the end of 3.
Well, certainly not the quarter the Stags were looking for. Again, St. John's showing why they have been ranked in the top 25 in the country and why they're 15-1. Tremendous defensive pressure, forcing turnovers, and then on the offensive end, the ability to shoot it deep and get to the rim with their big guy. Donovan Freeman showing why he's one of the top juniors in the country.
On DeMatha's side, it's been very difficult since that first quarter. They had, was it 17 or 18 points in that first frame, Coach?
17-13, and then we go through the second quarter. We got to score 24-9.
I mean, we've barely doubled our score in the last 2 quarters. So not great on the offensive end for the Stags. And as a result, the defense has also struggled.
Yeah, our defense is a little bit better. We gave up 17 that quarter, but again, we only score 9. You know, so part of it's tough luck and some shots, but certainly got to cut down on the turnovers, and the ability for our offense should be our friend to generate good shots that our guys can make. I think sometimes because of the turnovers, we're just happy to get a shot off rather than a shot that we can shoot a high percentage on.
Mason So back in the game for the Stags. 4 fouls on him, so he's got to be careful here in the fourth quarter. Malcolm Thomas gets it back to So. Isaiah Arnold fighting through the defense, passes it inside to Malcolm Thomas, took the contact but could not adjust. Wide of the mark.
Unable to cash in, but good set by the Stags here to get Malcolm Thomas. That's the shot he's got to be able to make.
And on the other hand, Malik Mack finds Donnie Freeman, who makes a nice move to finish inside. And then Mason So lost the ball, got it, and released. Put it in the bucket. Freeman, a little dangerous bounce pass to Pete Newman, but Winston couldn't get there in time. And then Winston's going to be called for the foul going up into Freeman's face. And that'll be a 1-and-1 for St. John's. Only 3 team fouls against the Cadets. So DeMatha has not been able to get the visitors into foul trouble in this second half.
Again, early on in that first quarter, we were able to attack and get all the way to the rim. Haven't been able to do that much since the first quarter.
No good on the first end by Freeman, and then there's a whistle.
Not sure. I'm thinking shot clock, but not positive.
So Stags take it out of bounds, pass it in. Winston gets to So. Malcolm Thomas gets a little bit of space on Freeman, but too strong on the shot. And now St. John's off and running. Mack whips it across. Burton to Davis. Davis, pull-up jumper just in front of the free throw line, banks it in off the backboard for 2.
That may have been on purpose. Jaden Winston pushing it. He gets the foul. He Stags ball out front.
And Pete Newman tagged with his second foul of the day. He'll check out for Devin Totley.
14 fouls on the Cadets.
Winston drives in, finds the opening, and then Malcolm Thomas able to finish it. Maybe a little lucky not to get called for hanging on it.
Hard to see from here, but probably close. But Malcolm Thomas getting to the rim, finishing the miss.
And it doesn't seem to matter where around the arc he shoots it from. Tim Burton just cannot miss. Made it from both corners on the other end of the floor, and this one from I'm not even really sure the terminology for that. What is that, the wing? It's not the wing. It's not the elbow. I don't really know what that is. 45-degree angle from the basket.
From the wing.
Got to keep myself entertained here. 22-point game, 61-39 with just over 6 minutes to go. That one poked away, finds Mason So, couldn't get it to fall from 3.
St. John's on the attack again.
Poked away, taken all the way by Jaden Winston, and he couldn't finish. But there's a call on the floor. Did they call out of bounds on somebody maybe? It's staying with St. John's, so
I think they called goaltend.
Did they? I didn't see the signal for it, but I guess they did because there's a couple points up there now.
Mason So, tough drive, left it short. Nobody on the back end. Here come the Cadets.
Totally finishes against Winston as he goes to the floor and puts it in.
Tough move by the freshman.
DeMatha starting 5 on the floor right now. Getting them some minutes together here. Trying to get something going against this very tough St. John's team. 15-1 coming into this game. Wow, gets it to fall with the contact. I don't think he released that until he was almost on the deck.
He tried for kind of an up and under move from like 11 or 12 feet. Legs got tied up and he's losing his balance. Throw it at the rim. Thinking to get 2, he got the lucky bounce. He can go to the line for a potential 3-point play.
Yep, Malcolm Thomas will shoot 1. That's 16 fouls, 1 away from putting DeMatha in the bonus. Malcolm Thomas knocks it down, a traditional 3-point play. That'll bring J.J. Massacoy and Chris McElveen into the game.
Stags looking to pressure a little bit. That diamond press they come with. Looking to trap in the corner.
Nice reception by Daquan Davis. Finds Tim Burton. Couldn't finish at the rim. One of the few misses I've seen from Burton tonight. Burton will pass it up. Gets it out to Davis, and St. John's will reset. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Under 5 minutes to go. And Davis lost his footing, able to regain it, and that's going to be a jump ball. He'll stay with St. John's.
Not sure what's going on. Smart play by Davis. Lost his footing. He's on the floor. Just hung on to the ball. It's St. John's on the alternate possession. And then somewhere in there, the guys got a little bit chesty.
Cooler heads prevail. And St. John's will take the ball out of bounds.
I think we got a technical foul on. I think you got a double technical on 2 zeros.
Okay, so Freeman and Logan Lewis both tagged with technical fouls, and we'll restart here. And an offensive foul. J.J. Massacoy stands in there and takes the charge by Malik Mack.
Nice job by J.J. Willing to step in and sacrifice his body, protect the rim.
We'll get a couple of substitutions. Zion Chase for the Cadets. Malcolm Thomas for the Stags.
Malcolm Thomas comes back in. Coach Jones trying to do a little offense, defense.
And the referee talking to the clock operators. A lot of stoppages here. So both teams in the bonus. DeMatha 1 away from putting the Cadets into the double bonus. Winston dribbling around, picks up his dribble and gets it to Isaiah Arnold. Arnold driving, spin, move, inside, off the backboard, no good, but he draws the contact. He'll go to the line.
Determined to get that off. Isaiah went to kind of his post game there, kind of power dribbled in there, a little bit of up and under. He'll go to the foul line for 2.
Don't see a ton of that from a very good outside shooter. Again, we saw him hit 5 of them from outside last week. Misses the first free throw.
Had a couple good looks early tonight, maybe a little bit quick. Sometimes he rushes it. He gets that flat shot. It's always long and hard.
And he'll do it again.
So much of shooting is rhythm, you know, that rhythm that you have and the confidence. Much better ball there.
Second free throw falls for Isaiah Arnold. Totley dribbling inside, tried to get it to Freeman, threw it away, but Daquan Davis able to chase it down, and then Totley with the offensive rebound. Totley to Mack. Mack driving in on Logan Lewis, able to adjust and lay it in off the glass.
Stags looking to trap. The problem is when the ball gets out of the trap, it's a fast break offense. You know, you're 4-on-3. Jaden Winston, a little one-handed scoop to the bucket.
When he finds the opening, he is very effective in close. It's been tough to find those openings tonight, though. Burton kicks it across to Mack. Totley immediately met by Logan Lewis, and then Chris McElveen comes in to help, but he finds Tim Burton, and he will be fouled. That's going to put St. John's into the double bonus. Doesn't matter, he would have shot 2 either way.
3:38 to go, 65-47. St. John's up by 18.
Two free throws coming for Tim Burton Jr. First one off the back iron and no good. Mason So checks in for the Stags. Zion Chase and Pete Newman in for the Cadets. Second free throw falls for Burton. 1 of 2 at the line on that trip. It is a 19-point game. Mason So drives in, gets the contact.
Got it to go. Nice move. Spun it with the left hand off the glass. Just avoided the contact by enough. St. John's is standing there pretty good. Just kind of veered off a little bit.
So that'll be the 4th personal foul against Zion Chase. Puts DeMatha now into the double bonus. Again, doesn't matter, so knocked down, and he'll shoot just 1 here, going for the 3-point play. Free throw is good for Mason So he converts a 3-point opportunity. And DeMatha working to trap it. Kate Sebastian tries to poke it away, but Malik Mack able to regather his dribble and gets it out to Daquan Davis. So pressuring Davis. Good reactions by So, not giving him any place to go, but this time Davis tries it again and gets by him, and then works the ball around Malcolm Thomas to the rim.
St. John's awesome possession. They worked the shot clock and were able to get a layup near the end. Isaiah Arnold, quick 3.
Ball gets stuck.
Stuck.
Donnie Freeman will
should be
knock
jump
it
ball,
loose.
should be DeMatha ball.
Yep. And it will be on the baseline. Jaden Winston will take it out. Two minutes and 58 to go. And a foul along the baseline. That is going to be on Malik Mack. Kate Sebastian will shoot 2 free throws here. Sebastian was trying to fight through on the inbound opportunity. Ref felt there was too much contact on Matt. First free throw good by Sebastian. Freeman and Chase have been subbing in and out, swapping places with each other on the bench and on the court. That's got to be about 5 times just in the past 3 minutes. Second free throw coming for Sebastian. No good. Sebastian went in for it, crawling after it, and we're going to get a jump ball. This one will be St. John's possession. A.J. McCleary will check in for the Stags.
St. John's ball on the baseline. Stags will come up with pressure.
Freeman trying to inbound to Malik Mack. That's going to be deflected out of bounds by McCleary. Stays with St. John's. Daquan Davis back to Mack. Mack pushes it ahead to Pete Newman. Almost threw it out of bounds, but Newman able to save it. And they're going to say out of bounds on Pete Newman. And it'll be DeMatha ball.
The one referee who's been making a major percentage of the calls, he called it out of bounds. The other referee came up to whisper, and the only thing he could have whispered was, no, he didn't step out of bounds, but it's still DeMatha ball. So I would love to know what was in that conversation.
Yeah.
Because it was right on the St. John's bench.
And the ref who made the call, it looked like had his vision blocked by the St. John's coaches.
Right.
So I don't know how that.
They should lose the ball because of that. you can't every coach set a legal screen.
That's fair. Daquan Davis driving in and reach-in foul on Malcolm Thomas. That will send Davis to the line for 2.
Play again a little raggy here. St. John's with a comfortable lead, playing a little bit of keep away. DeMatha obviously chasing, trying to force the action. Daquan Davis to the line for 2.
With 2:22 remaining in the fourth quarter. First free throw bounces off to the left, no good. Second free throw on its way. That one goes in. And we'll get a substitution as Devin Totley checks in for St. John's. Mason So carries across half court. Driving in, passes off to Malcolm Thomas. Thomas no good, wide of the mark. Cade Sebastian, chasing it down. Takes a half tumble over.
Good hustle by Cade into the scorer's table.
Yep.
Oh, and we got another player down at the other end.
Yeah, Mason So. Ava Grease over there checking on him, and he's limping a bit, so he's going to come off the floor. Somebody will check in for him, and I think that somebody is A.J. McCleary.
Stags are a little confused here. Need to get down the other end here.
Yeah, it's not our ball, guys. Sebastian, may have taken a tumble, may deserve that one, but he did carry the ball out of bounds ultimately. Intercepted by Winston, quickly gets it to Sebastian, who has it knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with DeMatha, ruled out off Daquan Davis.
Stags had the numbers there. Daquan Davis with good hands were able to knock it out of bounds.
Malcolm Thomas thinks about posting up, instead dribbles off to the right and misses it off the front iron.
Not a bad shot, just always seems to have his weight going backwards. Ends up short a lot.
Mack, a little high step there. And a foul called on Jaden Winston. Mack will go to the line.
Third foul on Jaden Winston.
Again, both teams in the double bonus. Everybody shooting 2 here on out. First free throw good for Mack. Charles Thomas checks into the game for DeMatha, as does Jacob Wallace. And it looks like Cole Bowser also coming in. 2 for 2 from our Malik Mack. Pete Newman checks in for him. Almost called him Marlon Mack. Not even a Colt anymore, but I got Colts on the mind with Cross in the building, yes. Cole Bowser, open 3, no good. High off the rim, and Malcolm Thomas is there to clean it up.
Nice finish. Good put back there. Malcolm's been active on the boards all day.
Out of bounds, off St. John's. DeMatha gets the ball back. 1:23 to go. Again, you can tune in DM Stags TV right here on YouTube on Friday, 7 p.m. face-off. DeMatha taking on Archbishop Spalding in DeMatha Prep Hockey's senior night. After that, we've got 4 more home games to go in this basketball season before we get to the playoffs. Malik Mack driving in, passing out, trying to take as much time off the clock here as possible. St. John's just putting the finishing touches, and they're going to get Malcolm Thomas for the foul. And once again, Malik Mack will be shooting 2. No good on the first attempt. Galen Borsico checks in for the Stags along with Darius Vance.
Coach Jones getting a lot of his bench players in. Tough one for the Stags. And certainly we're going to continue to see this team evolve and grow, hopefully. You look at a guy like Malcolm Thomas, Jaden Winston, guys who were in a supporting role last year. Now they're being expected to be the initiators, be the creators, be the A players. And that's going to take a while, particularly in a league like us.
Somebody lost a shoe down there, but Cole Bowser able to finish following the 0 for 2 trip at the foul line by Mack. St. John's brings their freshman Jeremy Clark into the game. Another freshman, Finley Billy, is on the court, wearing number 12 and 35 respectively. 35 ticks left in this one. About 10 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Billy loses it to Wallace. Jacob Wallace going to drive in and finish at the rim.
Nice finish by Jacob Wallace on the break. Took it all the way in. There's Vance, miss and a rebound, lays it back in.
DeMatha making the scoreboard look a little bit more respectable. 5.2 seconds left and we get a timeout here. Got to ask you, Coach, why do coaches so often call timeouts in this situation when there is no possible way that you can make up that deficit?
Well, it's not about tonight. And certainly you look at that, we're not going to come back. We're not going to score 12 points in the last few seconds here. But it's a teaching moment, it's a learning moment. For our guys, is we've got a chance to improve as much as anybody in the league, maybe more because of our inexperience. How are we going to be those 3 days at the end of February at the league tournament? And certainly a lot of those games come down to that last possession. So it may not help us today, but it may help us at the end of February.
And does it make a significant difference to have that teaching moment in the game before it's over rather than in the locker room after the game or the next day in practice?
Kids never believe practice. They believe games. You can tell them all you want. That's not going to work in a game. They have to learn through themselves. Some of them do. But for the most part, and that's why game footage is so valuable. The film don't lie.
4.5 seconds to go as stands begin to empty. And that's deflected back out of bounds again, this time by Charles Thomas. Oh, they're going to call Charles Thomas for the foul that time. Looks like, I guess he went through the intended receiver. And that is going to send Jeremy Clark to the line to shoot 2.
First one didn't get the roll.
Try it again.
Jeremy, just a freshman here.
Yeah, one of 4 freshmen on this varsity cadet squad. Makes the second of 2. And one last shot coming for the Stags. Darius Vance from the corner knocks it in for 3. And that will make it an even 10 points that DeMatha loses by here against St. John's. Tough loss for the Stags.
Tough loss, but you're in a tough league. So I think if I'm Coach Jones, what I'm looking for is, who are my leaders now? You know, it's easy to be a leader or a rah-rah guy when you're winning by 20, you beat good counsel up there or whatever, but who's going to respond now? Who's going to, the next practice they have, let's see, they play Saturday, so they might be off tomorrow, but the next practice they have, who's going to have a game practice? Because those are the guys you can count on. So we look to get better. We say big weekend. We got Word God on Saturday. We've got Georgetown Prep Sunday night, and then we're down at Carroll on Tuesday. Good chance to get back to our winning ways.
This Friday, catch us with this prep hockey game against Spalding here on YouTube. And then next Friday will be our next regular season basketball game on DM Stags TV. Join me and Murph for DeMatha versus McNamara. That'll be a 7:30 p.m. varsity tip-off with freshmen and JV to lead into those, also on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tough loss for the Stags. Final score is 72 to 62. We'll see you guys next time on DM Stags TV. Good night.